There we go. Clean this up a little bit. Haven't done a video in a couple weeks. And I'm at a little bit of a standstill because I can't get the gas tank for that Norton over there in the States. I could, you know, I think I paid $100 for that tank, $95 or something like that, but to get it picked up, boxed, and shipped over here is going to be another $100. So I'm not going to pay that for that tank. I'm just going to have to wait or work around it or something. I don't know. I just ordered a bunch of parts on eBay there for this lathe I bought. I ordered some stuff. That lathe, it's a nice lathe and everything. It's in real nice condition, but it's missing a few parts. Like, here's the one chuck here. It's a Montgomery Ward Logan lathe, probably late 40s. It's an early model. It's only a 4-digit serial number without the A on the end of it, so it's a very early model. But the gears on and everything are in real nice shape. I got it running over there. Maybe I'll show you in a minute. But this 3-jaw chuck here is this is what you need. This is your main component here. It's missing the I just have this sitting on here loosely. It's missing the adjusting key here. And this is a buck chuck. They don't make anymore. You can't get that piece anymore. And we're just gonna have to hang on to that till I find it, or I'll sell that when the border opens up. I'll sell that for parts on eBay, probably pay for this one. So this one is a 3-jaw chuck, but it's not threaded on the back. The Montgomery Ward spindle there is threaded, 1.5 by 8 threads per inch. So let me just open this up here. See what I got here. I got lots of projects to work on, but I really wanted to get some. Well, I'm going to do the gearbox on that Norton there pretty soon. I'm going to do that. I'll do some videos on that. I'm pretty sure I got all the parts, but I think I need my lathe to do a little machining on that. So that's why I'm kind of waiting for this. Some of these are a little different, but that's okay. There. This is the part that I think I'm missing for that one. Let's see. Wouldn't that be something that works? No, that's the screws. Okay. Yeah, it's 5-inch. Yeah, that one's 5-inch. It's almost identical to this one. Right there, 5-inch. It looks identical. A little bit bigger teeth on it. And these teeth are smooth on the end here. And these ones are, they're, what do you call it? They've got grooves in it for grabbing. Oh, this is a second set of jaws it comes with. I guess they call them inside and outside clamping jaws. See, this one's smooth on, oh, it's got grooves in there though. Oh, it's smooth on the inside here. Okay, it's smooth on this side. This is rough. So, inside and outside jaws here. But this thing isn't threaded. So then you got to order this plate so I can thread it on. 1, 2, 3. Right there. And now it'll thread onto my thing there. I think I will use a little bit of Loctite on these. A little bit of blue Loctite. Oh, I could use red. I can't see myself ever taking it apart. Yeah, I don't have to take it apart to change those. So, I watch a lot of American politics. I mean a lot. And you might see that in some of my videos a little bit, like the last one. Just little hints here and there. I'm passionate about it, really passionate. And I really believe this election in the States, well, this thing is, that's not going to work in there. I'm going to need some longer screws. Yep, let's see what this is. What are the 3 screws for? So it's kind of wearing me down a little bit, listening to all the rhetoric on TV all the time. It's really emotional. Like, I mean, this is the most important election, I believe, in world history. Back to biblical times. A lot of people are naive to it all, don't know anything about what's going on, living their daily lives. You know there's a COVID, virus going around, but no, there's a much, much bigger picture going on here. And it's really good versus evil right now. Good versus evil. It's wearing me out. Anyways, this is threaded. I thought this was going to be a through hole into these threads. They obviously give you these threads, these 3 bolts here to thread a plate onto there, but they're not going to be long enough for this. Now these are threaded, and that's often, I got a feeling it'd be pretty unbelievable if I could thread a bolt right straight through and go and thread into that. Usually you got to clean those threads bore them right straight through. Let's see if I got something. Something with a little longer threads. I think that's 8 by 1.25. Looks like it. Yeah. Not likely that's going to thread right into the other one. It's going to probably push it off. Oh, that is gonna thread right straight through. So those threads are gonna line up. That'll make it for super tight fit. Super good alignment. I gotta get 3 bolts. And like I said, pretty sure that's 8 by 1.25. So I guess I'm not gonna get that together tonight. But let me see if this is gonna fit on the lathe, because it's set in a good 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. I got this 4-jaw chuck, but I don't have a key. It's a south bend, and even though it's got a square hole, it's not square. It's fluted in the sides and the ends. It's not 1/4 inch. It's not 5/16. It's not 3/8. It's the thing's fluted. It's weird. I've been looking for. A chuck for it. Oh boy, I can see I'm gonna have problems already. Maybe not. See how the threading, I'm gonna have to have that other one machined down. Maybe I can do it with this one to machine down that one. Let me get that piece. So you can see in here, goes in about 3/4 of an inch, and it'd be okay if this could go into there, but it can't. So only a couple threads are gonna catch. Yeah. See here, before the threads even start to catch. So it's only gonna, and plus it's gonna rub on this. All kinds of issues there. So I need to, I might be able to rig up that one to hold this one and machine this surface off. Just leave like 1/8 of an inch on there. And I gotta leave a step. I gotta leave a little bit of a step like that, so it sits on this inner bearing race, not on this outer cover. Well, that's gonna be my first project. All right, so yeah, this lathe works good. I got a new belt on it. I repacked these 2 bearings here. They were locked up from the original grease turning to wax. It's a yellow grease. It's been in there 50 years. But if you look at the gear teeth in here, and the back gears, all my gears are beautiful. None of them have been welded up or fixed up or bronzed. The screw works good. Pulleys are all in nice shape. So for its age, this is really good shape, this lathe. But it's missing the tool post right here. And I got one of them. I've got one of them coming. It's in the States, and my buddy just went over there and mailed me the tool post and the drill arbor for in here, and the tailstock that goes in here with the chuck, with the center. Yeah, so 500 lathe. Time I buy all these parts is turning into $1,000 lathe, but it should be in good shape. Like new tool post, new chuck. Everything else is in good working order, and from what I've been reading on the internet, you know, you buy these things for $1,000 and then you start fixing them up. Like, none of them are perfect. I'm going to set up in the back corner. I'm going to have to true the bed all up and everything when I do that. So that's going to be another project. See, I've also got this back plate here too, which goes on here, and I might be able to bolt that 3-jaw chuck to that one. Well, let me see. So that could go. There's those 3 holes there, but you know, that'd be stupid. Get that floating around on there. And I've got a box of cutters here from Peter. These are all old ones that he's been collecting for a long time. I also got this for my dial gauge, so I can true up that four-jaw chuck. Four-jaw chucks you got to true up to get it center every time you put something in it. That's the pain about it. You got to have a three-jaw chuck. But I might do it once, true it all up, chuck this into it, or chuck this into it, and then turn this face down. That's what I might do. That'd be kind of fun. I'm just waiting for my tool holder to come in. It should be in a couple days. But I got lots of bits in here, all kinds of bits, inside one, outside ones. So it'll be a fun project to get this together. And I can't really machine the bushings down until I get this lathe all set up. So it's kind of a catch-22. So I'm gonna need 3 more bolts like this, but twice as long. Yeah, literally twice as long. Let's see how far it goes into there. Same thread. Threads are pretty snug on here. I want to make sure it goes down all the way. Yeah. Okay, so let me show you what I gotta do here. It's pretty warm out today, and that's warm. 15 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and so I got my Harley outside, and we're supposed to get a couple inches of snow on Sunday. And then that's it. It's going to be below freezing every night. And I still got to do my truck body right there. I got to get that done. So these are all priorities before that, Norton. So I got to make room over there to get my truck in here. I've had it in here lots of times. I don't know about this truck, but my last Avalanche. So I got to get the Suzuki outside again for the winter. And there's a battery nut. I'm going to pop that battery out. I'm going to drain those carbs. Those carbs have to come off and be cleaned again. Maybe I'll pop them off before I push it outside, and I'll shove some rags in a hole and then tape them off in plastic for the winter. The tank is sealed, but I didn't change the hoses, and I believe there was sediment in the hoses. I didn't put an inline filter in, and the rust got into those carbs and plugged up 2 of the idle circuits. That's all that is. Simple fix. That one still needs the signal lights to be put on, and the horns, I got a bad connection somewhere in that horn. And my seat is in the USA, Michigan. And it's a piece of junk seat. I paid like 35 bucks for it, but I need the pan off it to make a good pan between the 2 of them to make a seat. And these bikes are prone, these GKs, almost all the Suzukis were in the early 80s, prone to just rot the pan right out. So I can't get this bike done with a seat until that border opens and gets that seat. It's not worth me paying $100 for a $35 seat to be shipped across the border just to use the pan, right? So I'm not going to do that. That venture, I never did get the choke plungers in. I'm tempted to just tackle that. It's going to be about a 4-hour job, I believe. 4, maybe 5. And get the carbs out of that. Put the other handle grip on. I got a new throttle cable to go on, and put the choke plungers in, put that bike back together, and it's done. I should have done it this year. I've been saying I was gonna do that in the spring, but with COVID and all the other shit going on, never even got that bike done. Focused more on the FLH. But these two bikes I'm going to have to put outside, tarp them all up. And then this Harley, well, even before it's rideable, I got to swap out the master cylinder. I got the new brake line, and I'm going to put the new seal kit in the front calipers. And this one I really believe has a bent crank. So I could probably tell by pulling off the derby cover again. And this one's got the S&S cam in it, everything, S&S lifters, which I don't like. The S&S lifters, when they get hot, they rattle. They get a lot of tapping. And I've been reading a lot about them. That's common. I want to replace those with the those really good lifters. What do they call it? Cool or something? Oh, I can't think of the name of them right offhand. So I don't want to put that bike outside for the winter. I want to bring that bike in here. And I could put that bike outside though. There's no battery in that. The carbs are done. There's no gas in it. Just put the pieces back on it, tarp it all up, spray a little light oil on it, and it'll be good for the winter. So maybe I should do that. That's probably what I should do with that one. Just spray a little light. I still have to change the fork seals on this one too. So I could put that one outside for the winter. That frees up this bench. This will give another handy thing with that lathe too. I need a little piece of tailpipe to weld onto the muffler before I can bolt that back on, and I can actually make that on my lathe. So I could do that over the winter. And this one here is just going to be kind of a keepsake project. It was cheap enough. I'm just going to keep that bike. They're collectible. They're slowly find little pieces for it and fix little pieces on it. It's going to be a nice bike. Very rare bike. So yeah, I got to get this bike, that bike, the Yamaha, and the Suzuki outside and tarped up. I got it cleaned up over there a little bit for 3 bikes. And to get the Harley Decker in here. But I think before I bring the Harley Decker in, I'm going to bring my truck in and get the body work done. And meanwhile, I'm drywalling my basement down there, doing the mudding tonight. I'm going to start on it. So that's what's going on. The Norton, the green Norton. I got a few things to do to this. This year I got to drain the gas out of everything, out of the carbs. So this one, I'm going to fire it up and run it again, but I got an oil leak, and I think it's the oil tank. I'm pretty sure it's the oil tank. It's not from the motor. It's not from the motor anywhere. Not from the oil pumps, not from the oil lines. It's dripping down from behind. So it's got to be the oil tank, or fitting on the oil tank or something. These things have the oiler that goes to the chain, which I've disconnected and plugged. I can't remember how I did it because it's been a few years now, but maybe that's leaking. No, it's more leaking more than that. And it only leaks when it's running, when it's vibrating and running. So. And I want to change a little bit of the wiring harness from the tail light to the fuse panel that I put in there, because I used what I had, and I used this red wire. These are all my Norton parts in here for this rat bike. And rat. Hey, I'm selling these things too. Because I'm not going to go this route now, so I'm going to sell this and this. I know a lot of people are looking for this. And this isn't beautiful. This is in better shape than the one I got on that bike when I got it. This is all the stuff for the gearbox. I'm going to put that together soon. Yeah, so I used some of that wiring. It was like a tech wiring, or telephone wiring. It's like 6 wires in a red sheath in this bike. And I want to change that. There's like a couple feet in the back, and then there's a piece that runs up to the front here. I want to change that with a proper 3-wire one and a 5 or 6 wire one. I saw some somewhere this year. I can't remember where, but I got to find some more, maybe online, and order a little roll of each of that, or see if I can find some locally, and wire it with the proper black wires. It'll look better. But that bike runs good. Runs really good. Okay, that's it for right now. Saturday, just about 6 p.m. and just a couple degrees above freezing. And I'm just gonna throw some venison on the barbecue there. I guess it's a back blade they call it, but I sliced it in 3, it's really tender. So I think I'm just gonna bake it in here. Turn this down. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Put it up there. Yeah, let's see how that turns out in an hour or two. Went to Peter's last night. He works at a machine shop, and one of his machinist buddies from work was there. So I got talking to him about making this work, and I did get some longer screws from him than those ones. And I'll show you what I came up with. I just figured this out a minute ago. If you think about something long enough, you leave it sit long enough, you'll end up figuring stuff out. I reversed this. I put this thing on backwards because it wouldn't thread on this way because there's no threads here. So I fitted it on there nice and tight. You can stick the bar in here to really crank it on tight there once you lock the back gears in. And now this is concentric to the screw, to the spindle here. It's perfectly concentric to it. So if I clamped this in the 4-jaw chuck and was going to machine it, I would have had to first of all make sure that that 4-jaw chuck is spinning truly, because it's 70 years old. You know, make sure that, and it wasn't. I actually put it in here, and I put my dial indicator on there. It was out about 2.5 thou. So it might have been a little bit of a wobble to it, I don't know. But by screwing this plate right onto the screw to start with and reversing it, now this is sticking out front. Now I know it's perfectly concentric to the spindle shaft. And the only thing I got to do now is, well, when I cut this down, I'll be resurfacing the front anyways, so that the front will be perfectly concentric to the, 90 degrees to the shaft. What do you call that? Perpendicular? Perpendicular to the shaft once I recut this face here. So that was my main concern, because when I take this off and spin it around, and this is going to be bolted up against that bearing there, tightened up against the bearing, it's got to be perfect. So now I can machine this down, put the step in it, put the lip on it, and that'll work perfect. Now the only other thing is, this is threaded, and they were saying that you should probably drill the threads out and put 3 bolts in, like drill it out perfectly centered, put 3 bolts in so it pulls it up nice and tight. But I'll try it. And the other thing too is I got to set back I got to set these in. So I need Peter's got them milling. What are they called? Flat mills, square mills. I gotta countersink the Allen head bolts into here. Otherwise, they're gonna hit the cases here. When I flip this around and those are sticking out, it's going to come close to rubbing on this. So I'm going to set them in, countersink them, and then those screws I have there will be long enough to go in. And then that part will be done. When my variable tool rest comes in, or quick change tool rest comes in, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to machine this part. They give you a big plate and you cut it down to size to make it work for your lathe. So I might have to fix that too. So yeah, this is gonna work good here. That spins perfect. I'll just machine it right on there. That's gonna be my first project, so that's gonna be kind of nice. And I haven't got, it's Saturday now. I'm gonna try to tackle this tomorrow. Get this garage cleaned up. I put a different tank on it just to see how it'd look. I put those great big ugly bars on there, on that Norton. Looks monstrous with that big tank on there and big bars on there, but I don't have a little skinny engine in here, so that won't look right. But I just shoved it on there. That's the tank there that I want to put on this one, on the FXR. Nice big fat tank on it. I'll keep the stock parts. I actually got a brand new fender for this bike all wrapped up there. I just wish I could find one more rear fender. Very hard to find. Original ones from back in the early 80s. I don't know if I ever showed you guys this project that I started 5-6 years ago. This was an original fiberglass Norton tank. And the Norton tanks are, what are they, 3 gallons or something, like 2.8 or 3 gallons. And I wanted to get like 4 gallons, 4.5 gallons, something like that out of it. So I split the tank, cut the tank in half. I got photos on the Norton website there. What's that Norton website called? I just can't think right now. I took a saw, a hand saw, cut the thing with a saw this way, saw this way. It looked like I was cutting a body in half. It just cut beautifully. So then I spread it apart. I fiberglassed it here with panel bonding epoxy and carbon fiber. I'm just trying to get a rough fill like that, but you don't, the ethanol just eats right through this stuff, so I kind of stopped on that. But it would be nice if there's some kind of coating you could put in there to stop the ethanol fuel. And then I was just going to fiberglass this all in. So I have a bigger tank. Put on the Norton, nice big fat tank, but it would still look stock, from the sides and everything. It would look stock. It's just that it's stretched out a little bit. So I don't know, I might finish that up someday and paint it so it looks pretty neat. Good for shows to put on anyways. Okay, that's it for now. And I'm just waiting for some more parts to come in, and I'll get this cleaned up. But I think I got to focus on my truck right now, and then I'll get the Norton gearbox back together. I'll do a video too on that. Then I can bolt the gearbox in there, and then bolt the motor to it. I'll clean the motor up and get this thing to see how it's all going to look. But man, I wish I had that seat, because I got to see where that seat's going to come down, where I can cut the frame and bring this frame down here. I'm going to make a little solo seat pan in here, a little fender here. I'm just throwing money. I've spent so much money paying for shipping of stuff coming across that border. Like just these lathe parts that I ordered the other day, the LATHE, oh my tail, goes in the tail stock, the LATHE, what's it called? The LATHE spindle, the LATHE edge there. Just these parts I ordered, and to pay the shipping, and then I got to pay the dues, $160. For 3 pieces, and that's for the tool, the tool holder, the chuck, and the LATHE. What the hell's it called? LATHE edge? I don't know. The part that goes in the tailstock in here. Those 3 parts, yeah. It's insane. So I'm just throwing away money. It's just ridiculous. And it just I could drive over there in a normal day, 15-20 minutes, pick up parts, come back, no duty, no taxes, no nothing. It's just killing me. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. So I'll get stuff cleaned up this week and have another video next week. Thanks.